when we're taking a look at our sensitivity adjustments as we're running in the field, if we go across and look, the ones that are matched up, rotor loss sensitivity and damage grain, those two kind of work with or against each other. So if I've got rotor loss coming up into the yellow or the red, that's going to trigger the machine to speed the rotor up and slow the vanes down. If my damage grain sensitivity is set really low, then I'm not going to have anything to trigger the machine to slow back down. So I want to make sure I've got these two set so that they kind of balance each other out. So I get in a situation where I got a little bit of rotor loss, the rotor's going to come up, come past my arrows, trigger the rotor speed to increase and the vane speed angle to reduce. Get in some dryer crop, I'm getting a little bit of damage. My damage grain will come up, that will trigger it to slow that rotor RPM down for me. Same thing with the sieve and the MOG. If I'm getting sieve loss coming up, triggering that, it's going to open the sieves up and adjust the fan. Then if I get in a situation where I'm lower yielding, maybe starting to get some trash in the tank, I want to make sure I've got MOG set high enough that MOG's going to come up and trigger to make a change there to close those sieves back down, clean that sample back up. So I can do that either with my pop-up, saying if it's acceptable, too much or could be, or more is allowed. I can also go in my automation menu. So I found sometimes it maybe works best if I come in here, particularly with MOG and damage grain, maybe bump it up 5-10 points at a time, and then kind of watch to see what that graph is doing. Ideally, what I want to see when I come in here is that I've got acceptable grade out. So you can see with my sieve loss, when I hit my pop-up now, I come in here, acceptable is grayed out now. So what that means, whichever one of these is grayed out, is going to indicate where my column has averaged for the last 90 seconds of harvest. So if acceptable is grayed out, that means I set right around that 50% mark. So when I'm happy with my sieve loss, MOG, damage grain, or rotor loss, that's what I want to see, is that I'm sitting here right around that 50% mark. That way when something changes, it brings that column up and it's going to trigger automation to make a change. So if I look at my MOG, I'm still showing more is allowed there. If I hit acceptable, right now it's going to take that one to 100. So that's probably going to make that one a little overly sensitive. So what I will do for that is go into my sensitivity. I'll take that MOG, I'll maybe bump it up 4 or 5 points, run another pass and see what I have then.